So with the impending release of God of War 3 Remastered on the PS4, we thought we'd take a look at all three mainline God of War games and compare their openings. All three are epic in some way or another. We thought we'd take a look and see which one we think is most epic. First up, God of War 1. It's memorable in its own way. You fight the Hydra as you move through the various stages on Boat and beyond. Not only does the Hydra fight use God of War's signature QuickTime events, but you also get the chance to use traversal to your benefit. Each time you face the Hydra, the game is a lot of fun, very bombastic, very big in general. It's the bits in between that bring the opening down just a little. In some cases, that means walking on narrow beams. In another case, this means pushing a crate around so that you can get to higher ground, all while archers pelt you with arrows. It's telling that by the time God of War 3 comes around, there is no more walking around on narrow beams, and even in the case of God of War 2, the puzzles during the opening sequence are a lot more interesting than that stupid crate-pushing one. All in all, God of War 1's opening is excellent and, of course, epic. However, it is one-upped by the two that were to come later. God of War 2 one-ups the original in almost every way. This is a fight against the great Colossus of Rhodes, and it is also, of the three openings for the mainline games, the longest. All in all, this fight remains very focused. The Colossus of Rhodes attacks you as you move from one part of the level to the next, and it concludes with you actually entering the Colossus of Rhodes and scaling his innards so that you can finally bring him down. The platforming sequence that closes this opening may not be as epic as climbing Gaia in God of War 3, but it's certainly an interesting ending and brings a lot more variety than just the hacking and slashing and the QuickTime events that came before. If you were to say that God of War 2's opening was the best of the three, I don't know that I would argue greatly with you. On the face of it, God of War 3's opening is the opening to end all openings. In this case, you're facing Poseidon multiple times as you climb Gaia. There are many, many moving parts to this level, and what's most interesting about it is that Gaia keeps changing positions as you fight Poseidon. There are lots of games in which you do battle on moving parts and pieces, but there's nothing quite as stupendous as this God of War 3 opening, in which you go from climbing Gaia to doing battle, to QuickTime events with Poseidon, and so on and so forth. If there's a downside, it's that it's actually over fairly quickly, at least when you compare it to God of War 2's Colossus of Rhodes opening. The other downside might be that God of War 3 opens so strongly that there isn't a whole lot left to come that can really stand up to that level of excellence. In their contexts, I would probably argue that God of War 2's opening is actually the stronger one. However, on its own, God of War 3's introduction is so incredible that it still stands as one of the series' high points. When it comes to God of War, which opening do you like the best? Leave your vote in the comments below.